Hello, and thanks for tuning in to the Kitchen Table Adventures podcast. Join us on our Pathfinder 2nd Edition adventure brought to you right here from our kitchen table. Kitchen Table Adventures is available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the episode.
Okay, so I don't completely remember what we did last time.
What we did last summer.
We went to the south and agreed that we would go back.
Yeah,
Yes.
we went to Almas to basically find a place to unload the cargo that we have accumulated in Plaguestone after departing there, separating from the caravan group.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then proceeded forward to explore the town a little bit. Ended up at the Pathfinder Society, which is like this huge adventurers guild throughout this world, and acquired a job there that I did not write down.
We had options for
What was
jobs.
Cade's Grove? I have Cade's Grove.
Yeah, that's the store we went to.
Oh, right.
We took the job Call of Heroes.
No, we took two
We took
jobs.
two, yeah.
Yeah, we got the board notice to Davarn for the haunted house thing, and we took the board notice for a call to heroes to join a festival in Breach Hill. So we decided to basically retrace our footsteps back north and go to Davar on our way to Breach Hill.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
After that, we went to a store containing magical items. And
we
splurged.
geared up, splurged from whatever we had, and are now stronger than ever, and the world should fear us.
Us third level adventurers.
Yes.
Me.
Fear me.
Fear me and my little pointy arrow. Beep.
But it's like that little helium voice, like you just swallowed like 2.5 helium tanks. God, you do that way too well.
I'm not sure if I can replicate it.
So yeah, is there anything in the city anyone wants to do before you set off? Finding transportation isn't hard in this case.
And we still have the cart, right?
You still have one cart, yes.
Okay. But what about? We didn't.
both
We had
carts.
two carts.
We had two carts.
Yeah, we had two carts. One
Oh no,
contained
yeah,
the
you just
supplies.
sold all the
Sold
stuff.
the
in one.
content.
Yeah.
Not the cart itself.
Now we have to get rid of the second. We have to offload the second cart, unless we want to ride around with two carts.
I mean, is there like a maybe we can stable it here actually. Like I don't
We could kind of do it as a pay it forward to a new group of adventurers. Be like, yeah, no, you can use this cart. You have to find your own horses, though.
sell it off to Pathfinder Society for rent and then reel in all the profits.
Yep.
Rent our caravan.
Wait, shit, I'm not smart enough to invent a pyramid scheme.
Not in
That's
this
okay.
world.
Alendar is, although I don't know. I'm not sure if they even realize what a pyramid scheme is.
Well, probably.
Someone has to invent it. So.
I mean, considering this world, it probably has been invented multiple times in the
But
past.
have pyramids been invented?
I mean, the one job that we didn't took
Was
led us
definitely-
away from the pyramids.
Well, towards.
Yeah, the job that we didn't take would take us towards the pyramids. Yeah, so language is difficult.
I know. Especially in this oppressive heat.
Yeah. If our intelligence IRL slowly decreases over the course of this session, we do not apologize.
We're not held accountable for any loss of brain cells.
You see, we have a total of 3 brain cells divided over all of us.
Viewer discretion is advised.
So, if there's anything you want to do, last time you went back to the Pathfinder Society, and for a price they can arrange for lodging, or you can find your own place in the inn or somewhere in town. That's up to you. But
I think we agreed that we would just lodge at the Pathfinder Society.
yeah, I think you went there.
Yeah, that's where we left off.
Yeah. And spend the night, go at the crack of dawn.
Considering the course of the night, the ass crack of dawn.
So, between sessions, I got the rune striking implemented, and that's about it. Because I'm very poor. All right, I'm all up to date. Wait, did I sell the Great Club?
You take the rune out of it?
No, I replaced the rune from the Great Club. That was it.
Yeah, and you gave the Great Club as a compensation for the price, I think it was.
Right. I'm going to remove that real quick. And I'll proceed as R. So we're going back to the Pathfinder Society then?
I mean, aren't we already?
I think we
quite a lot in
left
there.
off leaving the store. Didn't we?
Yeah, basically, we stopped in the middle of shopping.
But it's like right across the square from the Pathfinder.
Yeah, so we just
Lodge,
go that
so-
way.
So what do we do with the cards? Do we like take one and use it to go back to where we were, or do we like arrange transfer with the ships and have us still upward?
I think it would be better if we went by foot this time,
All right.
not by boat.
Or by horse carriage.
Yeah. I mean, Alendar was pretty pissed that we didn't get to go to the south, but character building.
You would say he got pretty heated about it.
We all are at this point.
True. So yeah, I head towards the Pathfinder Society. How much was the lodging there? Did we actually get a disclosing on that?
It's not completely free because you guys are not
Like VIPs?
not full members even yet.
Mm-hmm.
But because you have already accepted a quest and are potential members, they can offer you a discount. To become a member, you first have to complete at least a few quests, depending on where you are and the demand. But having accepted 2 of them, you are now potential members. And
So it's basically like trial and error. Just throw enough adventurers against a problem until it's
Until it gets solved.
yeah, the thing with adventuring is it's sometimes dangerous, and especially the noobs, beginners, they tend to die.
Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like we need new members, so 9 out of 10 of them are dying. So throw 100 and you still have some left.
10% margin is acceptable.
Yeah,
For now, we are over
But how
10%.
much was it? Did we actually get?
You are the 10%.
you didn't really. He told you about it.
All right. In that
but
case, I
didn't-
walk up to the counter
Okay.
and ask, "How much is the lodging here for the night?" The clerk is, "I don't fucking know."
Fuck if I know.
Maybe you can suck up the Genwi.
This
I
isn't
assume that's a fine.
a different person, so you just walk up and ask.
Yeah, pretty much just flat out. How much is lodging here?
I need a bit and I need a shitter. How much?
God.
Are you a member?
No, but we did take a job or 2.
We offer a slight discount. So how long would you be staying?
Just for the night.
In that case, how many people?
3.
That would be
And a house cat.
and a house cat.
That's potentially on fire.
You
Potentially burning.
you see like a
3 people in a fire hazard.
3 people in a walking fire hazard.
you see the person like have just a hint of confusion followed by adventure. So it's part of the course.
This is fine.
This is fine. But yeah, it would be 1 silver for all of you just to stay the night. It's plain lodging, nothing too fancy, but
Is breakfast included?
it is not.
How much for breakfast then? I think she wants it.
Another silver, because fuck you.
Additional 3 silver, because fuck all of you.
You just slap down that silver.
And just throw all the silver at him.
That ain't much.
Give me toast.
It's not included, but they can provide it for, depending on what you want. They can just send someone to go and visit a bakery or anything to just get some food. Basically,
Get it on the
eats.
way out.
We'll get it on the way out then. I plop down silver for all 3 of us.
The clerk makes a few notes and slides you the room keys, and she kind of leans back a bit and waves to someone to the side of her, and a roughly teenage boy runs up to you from your side of the desk, and he asks you to follow him, and he leads you to the rooms. He wishes you a pleasant stay and disappears.
All right.
Like he just vanishes in thin air.
Just poof.
Like fades into the wall, like woo.
Wee, wee, wee.
Smoke bomb and then just walks away.
Smoke bomb. We just see him just walk up.
He's like walking on his tiptoes and kind of looking over the shoulder after like 2 to 3 feet.
Oh no! Wherever did he go? Whose footprints
just
are
like
these?
a first year ninja school dropout.
Whose footprints are these?
What was that noise? Just a box.
I'm imagining like those poppers you just throw and they give a small crack and just throw a hand down, just awkwardly stare and walk away.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Or just like Krieger from Archer, just say smoke bomb. Just smoke bomb and nothing happens and he just runs off. Alright, so what are we gonna do from here? Do we take both the cards? Or
I think one would be better.
Less maintenance on two. Less maintenance for 2. I think it'd be realistic for me to repair 1, but 2 is a tad much. Keep maintaining.
Well, that, and if we need to go off-road, it's gonna be hard to have 2 of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
we technically have 4-wheel drive?
What is 4-wheel drive?
Good question.
I don't even know. We have what? 2 horses?
We have a lot of horsepower, at least.
Yeah.
God damn it, I wanted to make that joke.
Too late!
So we're taking 1 card, leaving 1 here, or trying to find...
Yeah, I think that would be best. I think I can go see if there's usual provisions for this kind of thing. I'd imagine that this happens fairly often, so we can see what we can do.
Alright. What time is it now?
It's late in the afternoon, like 3-4-ish.
Did we get like a room key or something like that, or did he just like basically chug us in?
Did you miss that?
Yeah, you received the key.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did miss that, yeah. Then I'd say we provision up. It's still early in the evening, late afternoon. Provision up a little bit for the journey ahead. And then turn in for the night, I guess. Get some food. Do we know how many days it would take us to get to Davarn with the horse and carriage?
Not right now, but you could figure it out potentially. In the main hall of the lodge, at the table where you guys were sitting discussing the
Oh, there's a map.
they have maps, not completely detailed, but enough to make a rough estimate about how far it would be. But it's very dependent on the way you were to travel, by foot, by boat, by horse.
We're probably going to go horse and carriage most of the way, for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We might actually need a map, just a general map.
Or are we gonna buy one somewhere? Because that lady at the store told us where to get one.
We have a map of the city,
Oh, right.
not a map of
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
location.
Of the world.
Not a
Get a
world
big
map.
piece of paper, but I don't draw.
Just sketch it.
Just a blank
Trace it.
piece of parchment with a red dot saying you are here.
Move that paper around.
See if it hits the spot where you think you approximately are and like 400 miles off.
No, just a piece of paper with your hair. And every time you open it, oh.
Ah, I see.
I mean, the map
That'll
is
be
never
just
wrong. I am indeed always here, but...
I think that we would have to buy supplies. First things first. See if we can offload the card somewhere.
Didn't we already do that? Oh, you mean like...
No, actually get rid of the second card.
Okay.
Not the first one, the second.
You could sell it, stand on the market with it and try to sell it.
Just throw it at the nearest salesman. It's the entire card.
I feel it would be.
And the horses.
I feel it would be generating some goodwill with the society if we if we.
Then we can just
pay
ask if we
forward.
can leave it here.
We can't eat goodwill.
We can
No.
eat horses.
Oh no. Alright, if you're gonna pull the
Buy
cart
the
then.
beef stick.
But, like, I mean, if we tie 4 horses to the cart, we can go twice as fast in theory.
Not really
twice
how
as
that
strong.
works.
We got double the horsepower.
That's not how that works.
That's not how it works. You have to take 2 horses and put them in the back, and they have to push.
You have to turn them around if you want to go in reverse. One pair walks forward, the other backwards at all times. You say that's not how it works, but we effectively double the horsepower. Whether or not it actually goes faster, that remains to be seen.
Theoretically, it works.
But the horsepower is literally doubled.
Something I learned over my vacation was that horsepower was calculated by how much weight a horse could pull up a mine shaft. So every horse was approximately every horse was the equivalent of 15 horsepower, pulling carts of coal.
So one
up
horse
mine
was
shafts.
15 horses.
Yeah, basically, 1 horsepower is a terrible unit of measurement, and always has been.
So technically, I'm not wrong.
Technically, you're not wrong. We can pull 4 times the amount of weight. We just won't be going fast.
Well,
My freaking point.
Faster, you're going the same speed.
yeah, well,
What kind of
My
horses do we
freaking
have? What
point.
breed are they? Can we ride them? Can we race them?
How much do you know about horses?
First roll of the night. Don't fail me now.
Google horse breeds.
Here we go. Last time, Wagyu
what
beef.
kind of
just don't turn that around, by the way. Then
Wagyu
search.
beef?
Don't turn that
What
into
was the
breeding
Google
horses.
search last time?
Yes, it was. Marbling grade on Wagyu beef.
Which went horribly wrong.
Yep. What kind of roll would it be for that? I have my dice roll. Just like, what do I add to that?
Would be a nature, yeah, there's
Horse
no
lore.
animal hunting.
Horse lore.
Horse lore.
It would be a 22.
I mean, I have tanning lore, if that helps.
Oh yes, I know these kinds of horses. The leather that they make isn't that good.
I have a fine marbling grade, though.
There's a few different kinds of horses available.
But our horses, the horses that we
Your
use.
horses are more bred for labor, for...
Okay, we aren't going anywhere fast then.
No, they're...
Like, are they actual bread?
Yes, yeah, they're just...
Let's not leave them out in the rain then.
Soggy horses.
and they're natural
Moldy
enemies.
horses. It's like one morning you just go to the stables and they're green. But they have a nice coat for winter so they stay warm, I guess.
So now we also know the natural predator for a horse is a duck.
Quack Thulu.
No, there's
Quackinator.
several different...
If you get Frisian ones, they're really strong and really pretty.
If they were to exist in North Canada.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, there's the labor horses, just more for pulling carriages, helping with farmers and stuff like that. They can be used as riding horses, but they're just slightly or
They're not
or-
fast.
Yeah, their stamina is lower for just the long distance running. But yeah, the horses you have right now are of this kind.
This is some fancy ass water from France. Well done.
It's from France.
Yes.
In that case, I don't trust it.
Fair enough.
I do really like that. There's a bottled water that has like the ingredients list and it says it's just water, get over it. To this day I haven't found that bottle again, but it made me laugh
You
so
fool.
hard.
You fool!
Like the ingredients were literally it's just water, get over it.
Also, I love how it says you have to look, smell, and taste if it's beyond its
Expiration,
expiration
yeah.
date. You can keep this till this date. Beyond that, just sniff it.
Just
Beyond that-
snort that water.
Just make sure.
Clean those nostrils right up.
Pathfinder, folks.
It's like it's like the least
It's way too hard to concentrate on.
podcast like ever.
We have a collective 3 brain cells, and all of them are being used to preserve ourselves.
To just exist.
Yep. In any case, so who wants to see what they can do with the cart? Who wants to go buy a map? Because I think that's something.
I'll ask the Pathfinder Society if we can leave one of the cards here.
I can go buy maps.
I want to hide in my room because I hate big cities.
So you actually hide in your room?
Yes, genuinely.
You can.
She hides in her room and plays with her pussy.
God damn it.
This is the second time we caught you drinking during the joke.
I thought of it was like, no, I shouldn't make it, and then I made it.
The real problem is you started this joke.
You did!
Did I though?
Yeah.
Yes, you
I
did.
don't remember I did.
We were trying to be discreet about it, and then you were like, yeah, no, I've got a flaming pussy, don't I?
There's no way I
It's
started.
not flaming.
Yeah,
It is flaming, but also burning.
Because mine was...
The burning
if
cessation
burning cessation
lasts-
lasts for more than 4 hours, please consult a doctor.
I, however, still blame you.
For the burning? Or for the joke?
Yes.
What did I do?
But yes.
The poor thing's also called Joe Exotic.
I go to the front desk to ask if there's any place like we can offload this card and just kind of leave here.
She gives you a few pointers. The city is mostly made for trading. It's a trading city. Basically anywhere you should be able to find something. But she points you towards the merchant district, where the focus is on all the trading, the marketing, and it's the place where you guys entered the city.
I get the feeling like she's trying to tell me that we can sell our merchant our merch at the merchant district, but we literally want to get rid of the cart, like the actual cart.
Yeah, and just like anything in the merchant
remains the same.
in the merchant district, there you can basically buy and sell almost anything legal, at least. So selling the cart or maybe trading it for something would be there. There's like a at least when you guys entered the city, there was like a market going on. You might be able to find someone there, but she can't really point you at a specific store or stable.
Just watch her trade the cart for like bottles and bottles of alcohol.
I didn't have the idea until just now.
Look at what you've done.
And then buy back the cart so she can transport the alcohol.
I don't have that much. I'll find Alendar. I kind of assume that he's still like in the direct vicinity.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I went to a separate clerk to inquire as to where we can buy detailed maps and parchment.
That would be basically the same store. There's a cartographer, and for some basic parchment, you can also go to the same place. Is it just basic parchment for normal writing or magic inclined?
Probably more so basic writing for my crafting book, for my formula book. I'm not a wizard. I don't need schmancy magic parchment bullshit.
If it's just for the base writing, it should be fine at the cartographer. And again, she points you towards the merchant district, and she thinks for a bit. And I know it's somewhere around here, but I don't come there very often, so I'm not sure. You have to ask around when you're there, but I know it's somewhere here. And she points towards a area.
I mark it down on the map of almonds that I that I bought previously.
I had a very nice map of Almas.
So I guess we're selling the cart then?
Yeah, I mean, what else are we gonna do with it?
I mean, there's a nice river to chug it in. Oh, maybe there's a lucky boat underneath.
First of all, we'd be obstructing the water, and
Water finds their way. Also, you're crying in your room.
not crying.
Also, you're not here.
I'm not crying.
That's what they all say.
Fair enough.
As tears streak down their cheeks.
I'm crying. crying.
I'm not crying.
It's raining in my room, okay?
Against the forecast predicted rain.
It's eyeball sweat.
There's a wizard in the other room. He's fucking around.
My pteroducks are gaining. They're going for gains.
I'm assuming in my head right now we have a room with 4 other people and one of them is a rogue, cutting onions sneakily.
Yes. That is exactly what's happening.
Charlie the stealth chef. It's like one moment you're looking, the next moment pasta. Where did it come from? You don't know.
We don't know where it came from.
I just had like a great idea with like a piece of parchment and a very high intimidation. You can just do the psychic paper gag from Doctor Who. It's like, this doesn't say you're with the FBI. Yes, it is! Just intimidate your way into everything.
Like the age-old orc rogue. Sneaking using intimidation.
I'm not here.
One story about the Baron and his butler. But we're going slightly off track.
We've gone so far off track.
Yeah, it's like we've entered a new campaign. So we take, I guess we take the horse and carriage to the market on a epic quest to buy a map and food.
Yeah.
And sell off this horse and carriage.
Yep. So I suppose we do that.
Yeah. So, someone who wants to lead this, roll a society check. If you want to help, you can help if you want. Give him a slight bonus, but
I don't know what that is. Sounds about right.
You need a lot of bonus.
Natural 1. And I got a 24.
So I got 1.
you're
You broke the
being
car.
slightly distracted by trying to.
Amiri's trying to... Amiri. God damn it! Ash is trying to walk out of town.
Like one.
Yeah. So it's a bit
Just
like
gonna start chugging d20s at your head every time you do it.
while
I'll
you're
provide you the d20s.
while you are like trying to navigate, ask people where to go and such. It's almost like you have to just keep an eye on your kid and leash her, like
Just prevent me from
stay
chugging
here,
the cart off a bridge because it's much easier.
Ash, stay on the cart.
Put the cart down. Put the cart down. Just standing there, military pressing a cart with the horses.
If you're going to pick up the cart, Ash, at least do squats.
Just put it in your neck and just start
Just
squatting on the bridge. It's gonna be a weird sight though. With the horses attached.
Oh, poor horses. You have my permission to throw one of these at me.
Okay. Every time.
Every time someone slips up on the name.
That's only you so far. Oh wait, DM did as well.
I'm just gonna
Last session.
last session.
Yeah.
lay down 3 projectiles.
I was trying to not use her name because I just her and she and
It.
and your character. No names. But yeah,
We'll get there someday.
It's
My first clip is loaded.
it feels almost like you're a parent and just having to keep your kid in tow. But after inquiring a bit, it's you get pointed towards the market. Mm-hmm. It is kind of not really closing down, but you can tell some of the stalls are already kind of packing or at least stopping for the day. But asking around, you find a few merchants potentially interested in the cart. Not all of them are as willing to pay much for it. Do you just want to get rid of it as fast as possible, or look for a good deal? Or?
I let Ash handle the cart. She needs the money.
I mean, I find the nearest merchant and I just say, want this?
You mean the horse, the cart?
Yes.
The horse and the cart?
Yes.
Not. He kind of stares you down at
This is
just
a bad idea on your part, by the way.
at this just
try to find a map store.
this random person kind of just walking up and you want to buy this,
One of my death sticks.
and
I do not want to buy your death sticks. You do not want to learn.
roll a.
You want to go home and rethink your life. You want to go home and rethink my life.
Roll a pending check.
I'm just going to give you the chance to intimidate them into buying it.
What's the insight or the I keep forgetting the skills in the game. Basically, it's either diplomacy or like the sense motive. Diplomacy.
14.
He offers you 2 gold, but you have a vague inclination or a feeling he might be trying to scam you.
I just walk away with the cart and the horses.
He's kind of flabbergasted, but he just keeps going on and
I basically repeat this process a couple of times until I get a deal that sounds fair, or if I find Alendar.
Okay, you're still looking for the...
I'm looking for the map store.
Okay, yeah. So, you keep going a few times. Eventually, you do find someone offering 4 gold for the cart and the horse. And it's still on the low end, but considering you're basically just randomly offering it, you figure it's the most you're gonna get.
Do I know what the horse and the carriage are worth together?
A horse normally is roughly 8 gold to buy. So trying to sell it would be half price. So the cart and the horse combined are...
There's 2 horses.
2 horses.
Yeah, each cart has 2 horses, right?
Mm-hmm. You're selling both of them? Or just one?
Both horses, 1 cart.
And keeping 1 cart?
Yeah, we're keeping 1 cart, 2 horses to pull the cart. And we're offloading the other 2 horses and 1 cart that we had.
Quick math.
I mean, if he's offering 4, I'm keeping 1 horse.
Just tell him to stop horsing around already.
That was a bad joke.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1 cart, 2 horse, 1... Kept 1 horse?
I mean...
If he offers 4 for the entire thing, I'm keeping 1 horse and selling the other.
Just to make it easier, you can sell them. The cart doesn't really sell.
It's more or less the horses.
It's more about the horses. But with the cart included, the price for the horse goes up slightly. Because these are not riding horses, but...
Okay.
But you would get 4 gold each.
For each horse?
Yeah.
So I'm getting 8 gold. I'll do it. That was the greatest int check ever.
How much was that in total?
8.
8 in total?
Yeah, for 2 horses in the cart.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about the roll.
Oh, the roll. Oh,
Yeah,
that's 5.
Just
okay.
5, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Default too.
So you, while asking around for a potential cart selling or buying merchant, you also...
Oh no, I don't inquire at all about that.
At all? Okay, so you ask
I just
around
leave her there
about
and just walk off.
You ask around about the cartographer, and the alchemist from before already pointed you in a rough direction, so you know vaguely where to look. But it's easy enough to find, and the shop seems to be kind of getting ready to close down, but it's still opened. As you enter,
Mysterious figure in a burgundy coat and a helmet with mask walks in, big plume.
6 feet apart.
there's a person sitting at the desk, and it seems to be just writing, making some notes, and he looks up. Doesn't seem to be bothered by your appearance. Just with a big smile, he stands up, approaches you, and what can I do for you?
Hi, I'm a couple of things actually. I'm looking for some maps of the Shining Kingdoms, Old Keliax. I've read something in total combined that we can kind of have an overview of the area. And I'm also looking for a map-sized piece of parchment, as well as some writing supplies to put on.
Okay. Parchment isn't a problem. How much would you be needing?
Take your entire stuff.
I'd be needing 1 proper map-sized map-grade piece of paper, as well as, and I take out my 2 books, something of about the size that I would be able to add additional pages in here.
Okay, so paper isn't a problem. For the amount you are requesting, he can provide for 2 silver.
Mm-hmm.
The map is going to be hard.
Probably smaller maps of different regions.
Yeah, maps are mostly, they're still handmade, so they are quite expensive. But there's a few options. You can buy a few regular maps, different countries or regions, or you can buy a atlas, which contains more of them, but it's a whole lot more expensive. But it's also depending on how much detail you want. So, for instance, Falcon's Hollow is a minor town. It's not very big, so some maps might contain it, but the more crudely drawn ones won't.
I prefer them to be a little bit more detailed.
More detailed. So the more detailed ones are gonna be more expensive, which would be about a gold a piece.
Okay.
For the normal maps, or a atlas will be 5 gold.
And the atlas is also detailed?
So you can take a few different grades of detail. The most detailed, the best maps are 10 gold with a atlas costing 50 gold. Below that is the 1 gold and 5 gold, and below that is the 10 silver, or 1 silver and 50 silver, or 1 silver and 5 silver. But that's more like just a sketch on a napkin kind of level.
Let me see if that is a thing. I think that I would go for the survey map atlas, looking at the thing that you're looking at, and then I'd try to persuade them to give me to include a writing set with all the paper to go along with that. And that's 1 gold piece, including the specific sheets of paper that I was specifying earlier.
Make a diplomacy check.
That is 15.
Do you have +8 on diplomacy?
Yeah.
God damn.
That's charisma based. So
I have a +10 to my crafting.
you want the full price survey atlas, or the mid tier?
The full price survey
The
atlas.
50 gold.
Kind of looking at it is like it's practical. It has some ornamentation on it.
Yeah, it's comparable to this one.
No, in that case, definitely.
It looks really nice, but yeah, 50 gold. So, but yeah, buying this, the merchant doesn't seem to mind giving the 1 gold writing set, almost like a gift, considering how much you're spending. And so yeah, you can mark those
Sounds
down.
good. I mark it down. The first thing I do before anything else, I ask them if they have a writing station that I can quickly use, and I take out the map-sized thing.
He looks at his desk for a bit and kind of just shoves a few books and some scrolls and just kind of shoves it to the side. And is this enough? It's
I take it out. I take the piece of parchment out, put it there.
yeah. You don't need the entire desk, but it's easy enough to just take like the corner.
I take my new writing set, try it out, just like draw a dot, write some words, test it out. Okay, that is a gift for a friend of mine for later. Thank you very much. And I fold it close, and we will specify what it says on there later.
He thanks you for your patronage.
You're most welcome.
And he bids you farewell, and card sold and map found.
Sir.
And tear shed.
Tear shed. Roll for tears. Roll for sadness.
Guild's burned down.
Roll for depression.
Hey, where did the lodge go?
That's a big fire. And after that, I suppose I'll go find Ash and I'll make our way back.
So yeah, Ash.
You're very irresponsible for that, would I?
She was kind of going from merchant to merchant, trying to sell the card.
Yeah.
By the time you're finished, she's also just rounding up her cell, and it's quite quieting down outside. So the streets aren't as buzzing anymore. So finding her isn't very hard. She kind of stands out. So you meet up with her.
Okay. Well, you're done.
As guardless as can be.
I can see. Well, shall we get heading back to the society?
I think that's a good idea.
On the way back, I think we should go a little bit past the way out, see if there's some bakers or stuff.
We had a map of the area, right?
Yeah, I have a map of the area, but it's not that detailed.
Okay. We go on an epic adventure to find the bakery or butcher.
A butcher?
Adventure.
Roll a society check, see if you can find it. Or a perception check if you just want to look for it yourself.
Yeah, Let's make that perception. 16.
We accidentally leave the city.
That is a 10 for me.
All right.
A society check of 10.
16 on perception. Just looking around.
A 16?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys wander around for a bit. You're trying to approach people but there's almost no one left. Just some merchants kind of...
It's just the whole city died.
Most of the people
coming.
left are just the merchants kind of just tidying up their space, and they're not really willing to... They're working at the moment, so
That's the end of the day.
they don't really want to help.
Eventually, Ash just follows.
But yeah,
the
so
nose.
it takes like 10-15 minutes to find a butcher, but as well, just still open. So what is it you want? Meat.
No, I go in and ask about if he has some salted meats left for the day.
I have a few left. How many? How much you want?
Do we know how long it takes per cart to get to where we need to go to Davarn?
I don't think you checked it out yet.
Okay. About a week's worth supply.
Okay, so yeah,
Just jerkies or
it's
whatever.
basically
we have.
rations, and those are 4 silver for a week's worth.
Okay. I'll take 2 weeks worth if possible. Just
Yeah,
in case I'm hungry.
Is it just for yourself?
No, for everyone.
Okay.
They're 4 silver a piece for a week's worth of ration for one person. So if you want to go for everyone, or
Yeah, I'll go for everyone for
Okay, I'll
so
chip in a
that's
gold.
24 silver
24.
total.
All right.
I'll chip in a gold piece.
Chip in a gold piece.
Since I don't have any
That's
smaller
10,
units
right?
of measurement.
That's 10. So it's 14.
14 silver.
All right. So that's about all the supplies we need, I guess. I thank the butcher and leave the establishment.
You guys head back towards the lodge.
Mm-hmm.
You
Something else you want to do?
find a not yet burned down building, so it's a good sign.
It's in the process of burning down.
Getting there.
Not yet burned down, but it's getting kind of cozy in
starting
there.
It's a little smoky.
So yeah, you return to a crying ranger.
Mysterious pasta. Mysteriously, the power just pasta.
Just from the shadow comes another dish of lasagna. You know? No oven in sight. It just happens.
You might make a magic item for this, like just
An invisible NPC
like
companion.
no, like a cursed stone, and it just starts making pasta for you, and
The pasta bowl of holding.
just everywhere you go, just pasta.
I think with the ninja cutting onions, I think that would be such an incredibly fun NPC idea. Just like someone you can't see, just always providing food.
It's always a
Ninja
comfort
butler.
food, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're sad, borscht.
So it's a Russian ninja butler.
It's like, oh, you're cold, more borscht.
Okay, so
You feeling sad? Get borscht. Feeling happy? More borscht.
returning back to it's not
yes.
the inn, to the lodge,
The comforting smell of borscht.
and the smell of borscht.
Duh.
This is now canon, and I hate it.
You meet up with the ranger, the crying ranger.
You are now the crying ranger. Instead of the
I
lonely
throw
ranger,
food,
you're the
I
crying
throw
ranger.
food at it.
You throw
You don't have Johnny Depp as your sidekick.
Oh God, no, please.
So as you're sitting in the room contemplating life,
Receiving borscht.
the other two come in, and Ash throws food at you.
I just suppose. Just like, life. What was that?
A lemon.
Borscht.
A lemon. Because when life gives you lemons,
Toss the lemons back.
Just all the
you
rations.
just burn the house down.
Yep.
God,
With the
I'm
lemons.
so bad this session.
Just everything. Just 6 weeks worth of ration. You want all packed in. Just
Just like the entire, like the entire pack, 2 weeks worth of rations for 3 people. Just. But no, I just give her some food
she gives you some food.
Thank you.
and sit down.
Kind of grab my atlas, kind of pour over the route we can take.
So
How long will it take?
It's quite a long journey, depending on the road you guys want to travel. How would you like to go there? Just follow the river or going in a straight line?
I mean, I suppose we want to go as straight as possible.
Going straight is kind of hard because the river is very bendy.
Okay.
I'm assuming
So
that
a straight line, you would have to cross the river like 10 times.
Yeah, okay.
Or you can just follow the river and then you would have to cross about 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
I guess that considering that we have a cart, it would be best if we follow a road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 360 miles, roughly, rounded down. Just for easiness sakes, we're gonna go with that. That's all the way to Davarn, to the place with the haunted abbey.
Falcon's Hollow?
Falcon's Hollow is a bit closer. That's, let's see, that's roughly 240 miles away from where you are now. Davarn, all the way up to Breach Hill, where the Call of Heroes is another 80 miles.
18 or
80.
So
80.
that would be. What's the movement speed of a horse?
A horse is set at 40 feet, so that would be 32 miles a day. So
So it would be 9 days worth of travel to get to Falcon's Hollow.
For Falcon's Hollow, yeah. Falcon's Hollow is closer.
9 days for Falcon's Hollow, and then an additional 3 days on that to get to Iskar.
But yeah, if there's nothing else you want to do, it's
we'll turn in for
roughly
the night.
dinner time.
Okay.
We'll eat and then turn
We'll
in.
eat some borscht.
Is the ninja actually canon? No.
If it's a proper ninja, you don't know.
So in my heart of hearts, it's canon now.
Good point, DM. Good point.
ambiguous food supply.
Yeah, you're level 3. Your perception is not high enough to know this yet.
I'm gonna look around the room.
Nope.
Nope. It was a very sad dice roll as well. Fun.
No. The dice was like, why are we rolling
So yeah,
for this?
looking around the room, you don't see a Russian ninja butler.
Russian ninja
Didn't
butler.
specify that, but I'll take it.
Oh my god, that is actually so fucking specific. It's
I'll be
cool.
on the lookout for like
Russian
pasta.
ninja butler.
I'll be on the lookout for pasta and borscht.
Wait, no, it's a ninja butler chef.
So can we assume that this ninja's name is Alfredi?
You don't know. We'd have to
Pasta.
ask him.
Pasta Alfredi. We can't see them.
We'd have to ask him.
Is the pasta Alfredi?
I just kind of no, it's al dente.
Yeah.
I'm killing the one actual chef here.
Let me continue.
I'm just imagining the muscle chef from Tales of just appearing out of nowhere, flexing, stir fry something, then leaves.
Wonder Chef.
So
Disguises the bed. Disguises the nightstand. Disguises that cabbage by the side of the road.
You don't know.
No, we have to walk up to him and press A.
Yeah, to get it back on track. I guess we'll have some food, then turn in for an early night and wake up before first dawn.
Yep.
And head on over out of town. What's the route we're gonna take? Like Lee's Crossings, Falcon's Hollow, then head.
Considering that we have a cart, we're following this entire route, and I'm assuming that at this point we're downstairs looking at a map on the table, and it's kind of like, well, we're going to be walking this way.
Yeah,
and then
or you
we're going to
can.
be cutting across there.
Your newly acquired Atlas also has it. So
Yeah,
you would,
but if it's just an overview of everything, I can just point it out at the table downstairs, right?
So to the north we go. Well, not the north. To the north we go.
Northwards we head.
Yeah. Agree?
Yeah, let's go.
You're like out of the city.
Yeah.
Get out of here! Get out of this punscaped hellhole!
Finally.
okay, so
I miss my trees. I
We're sitting on
literally hug the first one that I see going throughout.
you guys eat your dinner and spend the night. What time do you want to leave for?
A little before sunrise. I reckon, just as early as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can travel at the 32 miles a day. Taking shifts for you guys, it's not a problem, but mostly for the horses.
Every once in a while, we take the horses, put them in the back, and I start
Just pull the cart. Is your physical exercise for the day?
get away from calves.
Just following the river, and you're going towards Falcon's Hollow first.
Yeah.
So, who wants to navigate?
I think
guess that
I'm
would
driving the cart, but he is navigating.
I'm going navigating.
Okay, so the survey map gives a plus bonus to, but yeah, roll survival with a additional +1.
That is a 23 total. 16 plus 6 from my modifier, and then +1.
Okay, so yeah, first day, not a problem. You have the map, so you know roughly to just follow the river.
Follow the wall.
And especially at near Almas, most of the roads are already converged, so there's almost nothing to do besides just following the road straight. So yeah, first day goes without a problem. Just continue like this every day.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to sit like on the roof of the cart most of the time, just kind of looking around.
If we found trees yet?
Getting outside of the town, I mean, it's
Took us
the
half a
Middle
day,
Ages,
but we
so
got there.
you see trees. They're not like right next to the road. There's just more like a small meadow first, but you're starting to see actual forest again. So
I like make a run for the first tree that I see, and I hug it for dear life and just sniff the air.
Snort the tree.
You smell the smell of pasta.
Nature.
You snort the tree bark.
Yeah.
That's some good shit right there.
I feel alive.
So during this time, because it's a cart and you're not just walking, you all have opportunities to do things you might want to do within limits. Maybe, I know, study, or for you writing, bonding with Joe. I mean, if there's anything you want to do during this travel, it's 9 days, roughly. So there is a lot of downtime. Anything you want?
I'm mostly just like whenever we have like a moment of reprieve where we just stop, make a camp, and for the night, I just want to practice swinging the sword, kind of getting used to the upgrade that we got.
Okay, yeah. After setting up camp, you start just getting a feel for your sword, and with the rune engraved in it, it handles roughly the same, but somehow it feels easier to use. It's, even though it's your sword, so you're used to it, but somehow it feels more comfortable using it.
What's the weather like over the course of the travels?
Soggy.
It's like that? No rain?
It's no rain, but it's hot. It's almost burning. The cart gives
It wasn't Joe. Just saying.
It wasn't Joe.
It wasn't done.
The cart gives some shade.
It was Carol Baskin.
But it's still just
Husband. Whacked.
exhausting to be outside, even in the shadow.
Even Alendar's 2 brain cells are incapable of handling this heat. Alendar just spends time crafting stuff, I suppose. Whatever supplies there are, tries carving useful supplies out of wood and little bits and bobs.
Anything
Just
specific?
tools and stuff. Would probably try making fishing tackle. Various degrees. Like first a couple of trial runs for just normal fishing tackle, and then professional fishing tackle.
Improvising, you can find some materials to make this. But yeah, crafting it does cost some money. I think it's half the price of if you want, you can also fish a bit more. because you're following the river mostly,
I'll do some of
especially in the evening when you're more camping. You can just sit at the river and
Yeah, can I do that to kind of save rations a little bit?
roll a survive.
Nope.
No, you cannot.
Whereas previously you found the king of the water.
7.
Most of your practice fishing was from the boat, and just the movement of the boat was kind of luring the fishes in more. Just sitting there, you're kind of just, you throw it in and you're just staring, and
I'm realizing I'm really too impatient for this stuff.
yeah, the fish they aren't biting, but you can try a few more times, or
I'll try again.
Try again later.
Yeah. That's a 9.
Yeah.
second day not a whole lot better, slightly better.
I catch like a shoe this time.
You
Or
actually
like
start.
a freaking anchovy at most, you know?
Yeah, and some
That's great.
and a few
some
times
boots.
like
Because you can craft
you
them
feel
as
something
wearable
and a
boots.
fish nab your bait. But it's nice to know a fish actually caught on.
It's nice to be loved.
Yeah. It's downtime. It's not like you're in a crunch of time for doing this. So if you want to use fishing to conserve on some rations, it's possible. You wanted to craft the fishing lure.
Yeah, just like experiment a bit with fishing tackle and maybe looking at the atlas, seeing if there's any towns coming up, identifying what kind of towns they might be, and then making tools.
And well, I have to use the bathroom.
Aelinor, anything you want to do? So there's during the day you're just in the cart
Well, on the cart.
or on the cart, but more like the evenings, you guys set up for camp, so you can just either explore the area or you're settled, so you can do other things.
I will just explore the area a little bit and like practice my aim, and let Joe retrieve the arrows so he gets a little entertainment as well.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and he enjoys it. It's almost like just professional fetch. You shoot an arrow at like 120 feet away, and he just goes after it.
All you see is this little flame.
Spurt of flame to go. Poof.
Oh, it's a 10th of the price. Okay. So yeah, you entertain Joe and entertain yourself. Get in some exercise. And,
Improve my aiming.
it's nice to be outside again, and it's this confined feeling you had inside the city. Even if it was just like 2 days, it felt so cooped up. It's nice to be out again. So yeah, you wanted to craft the fishing. It's basically a 10th of the price. So in this case,
8 copper.
8 copper, a 8 gai.
Okay, I will try once. That would be a 20.
Yeah, that's a success.
Okay, well, I have a fishing tackle then. I hand it off to you. Off to Ash it goes.
And I immediately try it out.
It doesn't give you any bonus, by the way.
I just want to try it out.
Yeah.
We're getting there. That's a 10.
Oh, it's steadily inclining. So yeah, your fishing skills are actually improving. It's still not completely up to par, but it's getting there.
There's a par with fishing.
There is.
An average fisherman catches 5 fish a day.
The average fisherman actually catches fish.
So he doesn't even. So Ash doesn't even get close.
Well, she's getting there, so
She
It's the
sees
thought
them.
that counts.
yeah.
You're trying. That's what matters. Keep it up.
Pat. There.
Yeah, looking during your downtime, looking at the map for potential towns, you see Riverford is on the path, which would be roughly the end of the second day.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, you figure roughly around the 7th or 8th day, you will find a small town called Olfden. But Olfden. Olfden.
That gets caught up by the microphone.
Oh no.
It's stuck in your notebook. You were never going to be able to open that page again.
Cooling patch down. Cooling patch down.
Cool down. Cool down. Okay, in that case, I will spend basically until in terms of tries, I'm going to keep trying until I have 1 gold piece's worth of spent 1 gold piece's worth of materials to be able to craft enough tools for farming villages, I suppose. So hoes and stuff.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a pimp.
Make another general crafting check to see how much you.
I appreciate that reply.
Natural 20, so that is a 30.
That's a lot of hoes.
I'll be pimping. Stuff.
I do hope that sap plop was audible only. Oh, cooling patches are a blessing.
I'm gonna consider this a earned income, which is somewhere here. So you're basically using crafting to earn money.
You can open up an Etsy shop now.
Traveling Etsy shop.
Support me on Patreon.
Just get some paint Etsy on the side of our cart. And then wait till some kid somewhere writes a B in front of it. So we write around on Betsy.
Okay, yeah. So over the course of the entire journey, you use roughly 1 gold of
Yep.
materials,
1 gold's worth of materials.
and you rolled a
30.
30 total. So yeah, you make enough and sell enough materials for roughly 10 gold worth of merchandise.
Hey, economics.
And going with the economics, you have 9 gold left, considering the price of materials.
Yes.
If there's anything else someone wants to do, we're gonna expedite this a bit.
I guess at one point Alendar, over a campfire or something, Alendar would like to ask why the rest of the parties decided to become an adventurer. Campfire moments. Like, no! We have to think about this stuff.
Expository dialogue.
Somewhere beyond the horizon, someone's playing guitar.
Does the Waldarn theme start playing? Into the loneliness.
After 2 hours, you figure the person knows 1 song.
It's Stairway to Heaven.
So yeah,
After by Nightwish.
I approve.
I mean, I know the riff. That's it.
One of the nights, you are sitting around the campfire and Endor starts talking about it and asking around.
Flicking through my book. So, why are you guys doing this?
Honestly, it's all I've ever known.
Really?
It's really as simple as that. Traveling,
Wow.
being around nature.
But why become an adventurer then? Couldn't you just do that normally?
I could have, but wanted to keep the fun in there. Maybe travel somewhere further, places I haven't been before. With a bit of purpose.
Simple
Instead
enough.
of just hanging around.
Simple enough. You, Ash?
Survival mostly. At the start. Then it became sort of a proving ground for myself. Trying to find the next challenge to try to become stronger.
That's why you wanted to go to that Feast of Heroes.
In part.
More parts to it?
There's more parts to it. But that's for another campfire.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon. Will Ash reveal her backstory? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Watch out in the next session of
Like you guys
the
just
80s.
sitting around the campfire, have a 3-minute conversation, and the rest just.
Well, that sums up Dragon Ball Z quite about right, though.
Ash just starts screaming.
Next time I rage, I do like the whole Super Saiyan 3 transformation, which is like just 7.5 minutes of just yelling.
You spend the entire combat encounter screaming.
Kind of just camera angles from all sides. Is it the same sentence repeats 10 times, but
But it's like the same 3 keyframes over and over again.
in slow motion somewhere just for slow motion.
And then one episode is just Naruto backstory, flashbacks.
Suddenly we're in the wrong franchise.
Suddenly we hop franchises.
And a recap episode. Anything you want to do in Falcon's Hollow, or just keep going? The rift
Are you
fort.
assuming that we get to Falcon's Hollow?
Falcon's Hollow is the
Next stop.
yeah.
That's
So
where our job is.
no, it's on the way there.
Falcon's Hollow is on the way there.
River Fort is on the second day. On the let's see, it's 7th day you'll reach Olden. And day 9 is Falcon's Hollow. And Davarn is day 9.
Is Bleakstone on the way there?
It's a bit off, isn't it?
It's a bit
rough, right?
It's between Falcon's Hollow and Davarn, but you'd have to kind of make a detour. Yeah, it's roughly in the area.
You guys want to see how Bleakstone is doing? Or are you guys like, nah, ghosts?
I mean, do we want to dally around? Or, like, actually go do this?
Well, we can
Yeah,
visit on the
prefer to
way
go
back, I guess.
Yeah.
I prefer to go do this.
Ghost hunting it is.
Ghost hunting.
There are things in this world that we will never truly understand.
Anyone want to do anything in these towns? Else we're gonna just expedite up to Davarn.
Yeah, let's just go on, I'd say.
So there's a epic montage, and you guys just kind of sitting in the
Traveling
carts.
Eye of the Tiger starts playing, and it's just us sitting in the cart, occasionally like.
The Lord of the Rings theme starts playing in the background.
It's roughly noon as you guys reach Davarn. How do you want to go on? Just go up to the inn, or
Is the job signed by anyone? Like the person that put it up there?
it's not a name, more like the town council, like like the officials.
Okay, then we should probably go find them, I think. And let them inform us a bit further about what's going on.
Yep. So how does the town look?
It's quite large, and it has, oddly enough, mostly dwarves. It's this town is on the border of, or it's even in the Five Kings Mountains, so it's a actual dwarven country, and Davarn being like at the outer edge, near the border of Isgir. So there are some humans and elves, but it's mostly dwarves. You see.
So it's like kind of like a mining town, like on the outskirts of the mountain, on like leading up to the slope of the mountain.
Most dwarven towns are like in the mountains or on mountains, or at least, and this one seems to be more downhill, more accessible, and seems to be kind of like a central hub, or more like a meeting point. Considering its lay, it's roughly on the border of 4 countries. There's Druma to the north, Isgir to the west, the Five Kings Mountain all the way up to the east, Andorran to the south. So it's not a major trade hub, but it is a kind of like a meeting point for smaller communities, smaller towns, for most of these places. So it's kind of hard to see because the borders are less pronounced here. But basically, Andorran goes all the way up to underneath the mountains here, up to the words. Davarn lies here just to the left of the words Five Kings Mountain, and right above that starts Druma. So it's
basically like a trading hub town.
Yeah, but for us Dutch people, you can compare it to Maastricht. Like, it's kind of like wedged in between several countries, and it kind of like extending into a few other countries.
Alright.
The Five Kings Mountains has a similar thing. Like, it's more like wedged in and just completely elongated between several countries. And Davarn is quite central. It's roughly 10 miles from the borders of both Isgir and Durma, and about 20-ish miles from Onderon.
Okay, so if we ever have to run from the law, we know which way to go.
Just yes.
Place for the law.
How far does your jurisdiction go? Pick up a pebble, just chuck it.
Okay, so as you reach Davarn, you have a copy of the actual quest for the requests, and this one is signed. It's signed by with Davarn Township, so it's more like a request from the town itself, not a specific person. So you reckon maybe a mayor or a town official would know more about this.
I take a look around, see if there's like any official buildings that stand out.
Just look around, or
Just look around.
make a perception check.
22.
Dwarven architecture is a bit different from the human settlements you've been seeing before. So most of the buildings seem kind of stand outish for you, but there's one which seems to be more central for this town. There's like a square in front of it. The roads kind of lead towards it. So you're not sure if it's maybe a mayor's home or a town hall or something, but it seems to be a kind of like a focal point in this town.
I pointed out to the rest of the group and think that's where we need to go.
Well, let's go.
We'll trust your judgment.
It's the most like central looking building here, so it has a big square.
I see.
So we head towards the big square.
So yeah, you head towards the big square, and you want to go into the building or just kind of gawk at it?
First, I want to kind of look at it, and see what we're dealing with here.
There's no like markings or naming on the building. It seems quite fancy, quite nicely made and decorated, but there's not like a sign with town hall or.
All right. If I look around, do I see like people walking here, or is it just devoid of life?
You see mostly dwarves entering and exiting the building, and they seem to be some of them seem to be very formal, very nicely dressed. Others seem more like farmers or just more simple folks. But you see all kinds of people entering and exiting the building.
Right. Can I find one of these people and just ask them if this is the town hall?
Yeah, sure. It's easy enough to just walk up to someone and kind of look town hall, and
Don't forget to look down first.
town hall. the person you ask kind of gives a quick nod and it just keeps walking.
Right. I walk back to the cart and say, "Found town hall."
Right, let's go.
Okay. Who does the talking? I think I am the only one who speaks Dwarven here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna matter, but you're the only person
I can
that
see.
is
I can
good
see
in-
what I can see. Whatever they're comfortable with.
You're the one with the diplomacy here and such.
Very well. In we go. Head into the town hall.
Okay, seems to be quite nice, functional, more functional. Although everything is kind of decorated and there's like carvings in the walls and such, but it seems to have function in mind first. Yeah, there's like a huge desk going straight. You walk up to like a huge desk with a person, and you see more people kind of come in, and most of them just walk up to the desk. You have a slight conversation, and they get pointed into a direction.
Walk up to the desk. Wait in queue, I assume.
There's a small queue, but most of the people kind of just ask for a name or a specific something. So it's almost all of them are just kind of like pointed in the right direction right away. And so yeah, as your turn's up, the dwarf behind the counter kind of beckons you up. And so, what can I do for you?
Hi, I'm here with my adventuring party. We're here with the Pathfinder Society. We found a notification, a writ of a job that we've come here to assist in.
As you're speaking, the dwarf kind of just looks down for a bit and starts writing. Right away. Yes, he makes a small note.
Can I see what the note is?
It's kind of covered up. So this desk is there's like a countertop and a table underneath. So it's kind of like a hood over his.
Is the countertop dwarf size? Because I would be able to look over.
It is,
there,
but
so.
it's more like it's kind of like covering his
Okay.
hand. So it's you could, but you'd have to kind of like hover over.
In that case, never mind.
He seems to make a small scribble and he points you towards a set of chairs, and there's a bench with a few chairs. Points you over. Have a seat, and
Thank you very much.
they'll be with you.
I head over to the seats. Can you guys over sit down?
It takes about 10 minutes, but after sitting there and just kind of after your journey of almost 9 days, of 9 days even. It's nice to kind of sit on something more comfortable and it's nice to just unwind for a bit. But a very fancy looking dwarf approaches you.
In those 10 minutes, would I be able to recall knowledge on what kind of things would be socially acceptable or social norms and stuff in
Make
these kinds of societies?
a society check.
That would be a 25 in total.
There's nothing really specifically different between human and dwarven society in socially acceptable thing. Most of it is the dwarves are a bit more crude, so more focused on function, and they're a bit less strict on formalities and niceties, and more just focused on it being functional. But between human and dwarven cities, it's just don't get in trouble with the law and the basic. So yeah, this dwarf approaches you and kind of looks around the group as to.
Might get up and take a few steps forward.
So yeah, as you stand up, he approaches you and he reaches out for his hand to shake.
Shake hands.
So you must be the Pathfinders sent by.
Yes, that will be us.
Great. Follow me. This is not the place, and he leads you to a kind of fancy office, and he starts kind of going through the exact quest and. So, how much have you been informed exactly?
Well, we've been informed precisely what's been notified on the writ itself.
Nothing.
So,
extra.
nothing extra.
Okay. Makes it easy for me, so I don't have to double up on information. So, for adventurers, it's a basic problem, but our town is mostly focused on just the trade. We don't have a lot of adventurers come here, so we had to reach out. Just west of town, there's a old ruin back from the human. Where during the time the humans had a bit more influence in the area, and it's since been abandoned. But lately there have been reports. People have been hearing strange noises and seeing things, and we're mostly merchants. The thing we did was just run away and avoid the place, but it's starting to get out of hand. The noises are getting louder more often, and we figured we don't know what it is yet, so for now see if you can at least find what the problem is. If you can, solve it, but we just like it to be a bit more quiet.
What kind of noises are we talking about here?
He goes through a few of his drawers and pulls out a piece of paper. We had a report, and he starts reading and kind of skimming through the paper. And here, crying. It seems crying or wailing. That's a weird description, but So they heard people, or at least voices. A few curious people did try to peek a look or sneak a peek, but they didn't see anyone. So it seems odd.
You did mention that people saw things. Have they described what they saw?
And he keeps skimming the paper. Well, it's a bit inconsistent. Seems to be dark figures, shadow-like people. That don't think it's really. Not sure if it's even true. Maybe they're just imagining. It's a scary place, so I imagine they probably just saw like a wild animal or something and got spooked. But we simply don't have the capabilities or anyone really equipped to handle these things, so we'd rather just pay someone.
Based on these descriptions, would I be able to recall anything or like kind of discern what this might be? Just purely based on the description?
You can try. It would be a recall knowledge check. Let's see, what's the best skill for this?
Occultism.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Strong things.
You can, up to you. You can either do religion, or occultism, or nature. So depending on the way you think. And same for the others.
History check.
My religion.
Yeah, basically, except for the arcana.
My occultism, 0. My nature, also 0. That's a 5.
Would there be? Could you tell us a little bit about the history of the ruin? What was it before it came to ruin?
It was a human monastery. So the exact history is you would have to ask. I think someone from Isgard. It's officially it was theirs. So we don't know a whole lot about it.
Is there anyone in town that would be able to tell us to which god this monastery was devoted?
No, it's old. It actually predates this town.
Ooh, okay.
So it's always been abandoned. So to us, it's just a ruin. Not really anything spectacular or worth notice. But lately, it's been starting to get active. So it needs attention. All I know, it used to be a monastery of sorts, or a abbey, something religious. But
Oh no, it's a nun.
How long is lately?
We've entered the conjuring world.
the first report was, and he looks at the paper again,
The cross gets turned upside
about a
down.
month ago.
Just melts.
And at first it was kind of quiet, just someone heard it and nothing else. But the intensity and the amount of people seeing and hearing things has been increasing, and especially these last 2 weeks it's been getting intense.
So what are we talking about when you say intense or more active?
The crying, the wailing, it's been getting louder. Like the first report, someone mentioned it was almost like kind of like hearing a person in the distance. But looking at the last few reports of people, it seems so loud, like someone just almost just like a few yards away. It seemed. They explain it as being very loud, almost like someone just near you, but they didn't see anyone, or maybe just a few shadows.
So just the activity getting stronger.
Yeah.
Anyone ever get hurt?
I think someone did, but he wasn't attacked or anything. More
He just fell down some stairs and got a boo-boo.
he got spooked and hurt his ankle, I think it was.
He just fell down some stairs and got a boo-boo. Got what kind of information we need?
Yes, that would be enough to help us get going. If we have any further questions after initial investigations, would there be any particular people that we would be able to question about the events? Ask if there is anything specific going on, or if anything If any updates are to be given, who do we give it to?
Then you can just come straight to me. Ask for me at the desk.
And your name is?
Oh, I didn't introduce me. And
You did not introduce
kind of
yourself,
just goes for another hand. My name is
Rude.
Ranti. I'm the mayor of
Ranti?
How do we spell that DM?
Ranti. It's
As in grunty without a
R-A-N-T.
T, or
Neka. Neka Runty.
Launches it. Somebody the mayor just launches it. Is it like runt, as in...
R-A-N-T-E.
Oh, Ranty.
Ranti.
I still prefer Runty. Neka Runty. Okay, very well.
Ranty.
Yeah. Who do we? Is there anyone in particular that we can inquire if we have any further things?
Most of the information goes through my office, so if anyone gives a report or a sighting,
They always come straight to you.
well, mostly to the guards, but everything ends up with me.
Any place you'd recommend for lodging here?
I think I can arrange for something. He picks up a bit of parchment and scribbles down a small note.
Can I read it?
Do you read Dwarven?
I do not.
Can I read it then?
Do you read Dwarven?
Yes, I do.
Then you can.
Okay, what does it say?
It's a basic message, and as he hands it out or holds it out, and
I'll
looking
take it.
out, you take. He hands to you. Just give it to the innkeeper. He'll provide you with lodging and food.
Where do we find the inn? We're pretty fresh off the carriage.
When you go outside of you exit this building, and you go straight right. Just keep following the path, and the inn should be in your sight. It's about a minute's walk. There's a sign outside.
What's the inn called? Just in case we do get lost.
It's the Sleeping Flagon.
Well, thank you. And I guess we'll get started. If we need any more information, can we come back here?
Just talk to the person at the desk, and they will either contact me or
take a message.
Yeah, I'm not always here, so depending on which time.
All right. Well, I guess we're off then. Thank you for your time.
Good luck, and I hope to hear back from you soon.
good luck and don't fuck it up.
Don't die.
And don't fuck it up.
So we're now officially playing Ghost Adventures.
RuPaul's Ghost Adventures.
Now I just imagine Zach Bagans in drag. There are things in this world we will never truly understand. Yeah, I guess we'll head out and find the sleeping flagon using the directions that we have been given.
After we get out, would Alendar be able to try to recall something about if any of the signs that we've been given, loud shrieking and wailing, would I be able to try to recall some knowledge, see if I can identify what it is?
Same for you.
Or have a hunch as to what it is.
Make a magic-based recall knowledge.
Except for Arcana, right? Doesn't really matter much, because it's going to be occultism for me. 27! With
Natural.
another natural 20.
Natural 20.
The.
Oh, great.
I want to know the monster's name, its AC.
And just give me the
HP
entire
value.
bestiary.
Just give me the bestiary.
It's its mother's name.
What's my mother's? Just
What's my mother's name?
Just imagine finding like a big dragon and just it getting upset because you don't know its mother's name. It's like we barely even met. What's my mother's name?
So,
Travis and Ashley, apparently.
with just this information, it's hard to really close down on specific creatures or enemies because there's just so many which kind of fit the description.
Yes.
But yeah, you figure, considering the way this sound is being described and kind of having it sourceless, the intensity kind of like growing. For you, it kind of narrows it down to being probably something occult or at least magical, but it might be something like either a ghost or a hag you figure it's probably magic based. Also, it sounds more like a actual creature doing something and less of a haunting or a curse.
I've played this quest in The Witcher.
So it to you it sounds more like a actual creature, probably either tricking people or trying to keep them at bay or luring them in. It's hard with almost no information basically, but you're sure it's a magical creature. So not necessarily a elemental or something, but more like a creature with innate magical abilities.
It's a banshee.
Psych, green dragon.
Psych, it's an ancient green dragon.
It's a secret society of lizard people.
3 kobolds just stacked up.
3 kobolds in a trench coat. Okay, well,
Put like 10 of them in a row.
as we're heading towards the end, I'm kind of like thinking and trying to narrow stuff down.
It's like the crying comes from the bottom guy because his shoulders are really sore.
So yeah, even with your great roll, that's just
He's
not
just
enough.
complaining about everything, and no one can understand because no one speaks Draconic. Not enough information within my pre-existing knowledge, my database.
That depends. If we leave, go to sleep, and wake back up, I can learn the language for the day, and then we go in.
What
time is it now?
It's midday, so you arrived during the 9th day.
We can check in and check
Go
it
to
out.
the inn, get some information on the ruins. Maybe some people know more there.
Check in, check the ruins out.
Find the locals. It's probably our best bet for more information right now is to just ask around to confirm some rumors.
Yeah.
So we head to the Sleeping Flagon.
Okay, it's a nice looking place. It seems to be mostly decorated with carvings and not like nice furniture, more like everything is kind of like made into the building. But yeah, there's a female dwarf manning the counter, or at least the bar, where it's kind of quiet. It's still midday, so most people are either working or, well, not day drinking.
Kind of disappointed for Dwarven Town, but we'll have to make do. Walk up to the counter and
Smack the barkeep in the face with
Just
your
dropkick
with
the
your
bar.
2 weeks of worth of rations. Just go through, douche.
and hand her the slip, saying we just came from the mayor's house and he recommended this place.
She grabs the slip of paper, reads it, adventurers. And she kind of just rummages on the bar and starts pouring some ale, and starts...
My kind of town.
Yeah, it's been annoying people, and just glad someone is finally going to at least...
I just realized we're investigating a noise complaint.
We just traveled 9 days for a noise complaint.
Sorry.
Well, you are, so...
Low-level adventuring.
We've got to start somewhere.
It's like one step above cat out of tree.
Yeah, but it was like that painful realization that
It's like, oh wait,
like
hold
the
on.
actual task is kind of redundant. Like the reason why we're here is like, yeah, they're just being really fucking loud.
Yeah, The Witcher, you did stuff for less.
Yeah, I take the flagon of ale and
Could you maybe have a smaller cup for me? A tankard this big. Yeah, you can only drink through like.
It's normal. Well, at least
Do you
dwarven
have a
normal.
smaller cup?
Sure. She kind of takes it back and pours it into a smaller, more like a cup, and hands it back.
I pour it into my vial.
Adventures. It's been a while.
It's just me.
so what are the things that are going on in this town?
Not much. I mean, the whaling is basically talk of the day. Besides that, it's kind of boring here. We get some travelers, but most of them are merchants or just traders. So, I mean, have you ever just tried to listen to one of those merchants trying to explain what they're selling and it's boring?
Yeah, I usually stop listening after like 3 sentences.
Yeah, I have to be a professional and keep smiling, and she seems kind of just.
Might I be able to interest you in some hoes?
Do you actually ask this?
Well, it's Alendar's attempt at humor, but masked.
I mean, I can arrange for wenches if you want, but
This is an inn, not a brothel.
When in Rome, do as the Romans. I don't know where Rome is. I don't know if it's a real place, but it's an expression I picked up at some point.
When do these wailings usually happen? Is it like just something that happens at night, or?
most of the reports, from what I've heard, have been evening, I think. But most people either come by there early morning or evening, going towards night. It's not really central, so it's mostly people traveling beyond and coming back. It's not like a place we visit daily.
So it's not like close to town or anything.
It's a few miles out, but there's nothing really fancy or specifically located in the direction. So unless people have a reason to go, they don't really come by there.
So are there any people we can ask some more questions on this? Like any people that started talking about this?
Like people who firsthand experienced it.
I think Forbin was one of the persons. Is he?
Forbin, you say?
Oh, Forbin, yeah. He's one of the locals, and she kind of looks outside. I think he should be at work right now. Your best bet, if you want to meet him, is wait here. He usually visits for his evening drink, so he should be here in a few hours.
What does he usually do?
You mean his work?
Mm-hmm.
He's a tradesman. I think he makes jewelry.
So that's why he's been like traveling to this location or by this location.
Yeah, he's a bit of a weird one. He sometimes has a moment of inspiration, he calls it, and he kind of just fucks off and goes to get inspired, or at least it's an artsy type. So
Artiste.
That's enough.
All right. So that's. You witnessed this like firsthand, or?
well, he's one of the people. He's talked about it, so I know he's heard it, but I'm not really in the loop. I just know he experienced it.
Maybe we can go have a chat with him and he can show us where it is.
Yeah, you can try his workplace, but I'm not sure if he's kind of unreliable. He's not always there when he should be.
I chug my ale and say we can settle in until evening.
All right.
I'd still like to go have a look at the ruins.
Yeah, maybe get some more information before we head there. Maybe explore the town first, get the lay of the land.
Maybe.
Leaving bags, exploring the town until
Yeah,
evening.
sounds like a plan.
Because we can always go in the evening.
Oh yeah, if that's
True,
when
but-
most of the reports were made, it's best to go in
Yeah.
in evening.
But from what I'm hearing right now is that the reports were made from people passing.
Mm-hmm.
And that they just happened to pass during the mornings and evenings while going in and out.
Fair enough.
So maybe it would be best idea to see if I can hear stuff while it's day.
So
It'd only be like an hour, maybe 2 hours of movement for me, so you guys can get the lay of the land and we can catch up.
all right.
Yeah. And I take another flagon of ale.
You take the rest of my cup.
Just take the entire barrel with me.
Yeah, so she's just providing you guys.
What time does Forbin usually drop by? Like early evening, late evening?
Early evening, earlier, something, usually 5, 6, so
Around dinner time?
around dinner time. He doesn't always eat dinner here, but most of the days he comes here to have a pre-dinner drink.
Okay. And what time is it now? Like
By now it's 1-ish.
1-ish, okay. So we would have some time to go check it out and
Yeah.
head back. Okay.
She also provides you with rooms to stay.
We got our supplies there.
It's just like a bag of meat in my room. Yeah, it might be a good idea to actually get a little bit of the lay of the land and see how the ruins are right now. Then on the way back, maybe if we have some extra time, get a bit of the lay of the land for the town itself.
I think we can always just split up tasks. I can just go by, see what's happening.
I would not do that.
I can run.
I mean, if he wants to go, we can
Yeah.
go, I guess.
I mean, that's true.
It's basically just seeing if it only happens during certain times.
Okay.
Where no going inside.
Not going inside?
No going
Nope.
inside. Staying
Just
outside,
from a
safe distance.
Yeah.
Road. Maybe see if there's identifying stuff on the outside. No going in.
All right.
I guess we could explore the town, see what's all here, and maybe here and there talk to a few locals and see if they, by any chance, or not specifically locals, but just maybe
Just people.
people.
Just ask around.
Just ask
Get
around
get
if they-
some of the rumor bot.
Yeah, exactly. Like hear from the horse's mouth what they've experienced. If they
Yeah. Make a society check. So, yeah. If there's anyone who wants to help, or if you're gonna go as a group,
It's not
or
there.
What hole?
what help?
I have plenty of those.
I can't see.
That was the joke. It's a 3.
That's a 3.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
I'm good with dwarves. They're about as straightforward as I am.
Aelinor tries gathering information, but just the social interaction with these dwarves is kind
It
of.
gets a little bit too far off the proximity of the nearest tree and just starts screaming instead.
Besides that, most of the dwarves are
Not
being-
very social, probably.
also being kind of intimidated by the burning cat.
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
most of them are more
But he can
focused.
turn it off. So he doesn't have
It's
it on
still a
constant.
leopard,
To be
which
fair, you could probably convince him that he'd make a great portable forge.
compared to the dwarves, it's like eye level.
Like the leopard is bigger than the average dwarf.
It's most of them seem to be more intimidated and just focused on I need to get the fuck out. But yeah, you almost intimidate them into just talking. Figuring with dwarves, it's mostly just say what you want and the way you are used to communicating. There's a few people who've heard and seen these things, but they all seem to be relaying roughly the same information. There's like a sourceless sound of crying when you get near the ruins, and it seems not everyone was getting as close as the others. So it seemed people getting closer heard the sound louder, but it still seemed sourceless. So for the people who just kept a distance, it sounded like just someone in the ruins kind of like crying. But when they got closer, it's almost like just out of nowhere. So like a open space with no one there having it kind of as a source. So they seem to be mostly just confused by it there not being something and scared by there not being something.
All right.
You rolled a 20?
Yeah.
Natural 20?
A natty.
Yeah. So it seems the sightings, you're kind of able to mark that off as being more fear. So they may have seen something, but the way they are describing it, and everyone seems to have something else to say, and it seems more like like they're in a state of almost panic, fear-like, just trying to investigate and looking. And the moment like a raccoon just walks by, they kind of just flip out and
And superstition got the best of them. Basically.
yeah. Some are like describing people walking, and then some are like describing wolf-like creatures. So it seems to be mostly the fear indicating for the sightings. But yeah, going around town, there is time to, if you want to do anything else. But
Yeah, I just kind of want to get a lay of the land, see where the local supply chain is, basically, like the blacksmiths, the general stores, and
A doctor just in case.
a doctor just in case, an exorcist.
Yeah, so looking around, this town seems to have most of the basic commodities. It's a bit bigger than most of the small, like the mining towns and the trade communities you've seen on your way here. So most of the basic things you would need, like a blacksmith, like there is a small, not a hospital, but there is like a small town doctor, like a medic, basically. So yeah, for the smaller towns, most of the commodities are here, just not the more fancy things like magic shops or a cartographer. So the more niche stores are not to be found, but
Just a general care package. For
just the most general things
Okay.
you can find here.
All right.
I forgot to write down how many javelins I have left. 2, right? Should be 2. Because one got burned and the other got destroyed by acid.
No, the burned one you can was only scorched.
Okay.
So you could retrieve it. I think you did.
Okay, 3 then.
If you want more, I can always make them.
It's the large ones.
Like I said.
So yeah, anything else?
Not really. Just waiting for Alendar to come back then. Just
Go get some more ale.
get some, get day drunk.
Okay, yeah. So you guys can just kind of wait in the inn, see when either Forbin or anyone else kind of shows up. What did you want to do?
Alendar wanted to go to scout the outside of the ruins to try to see if they can figure out if the shrieking was specifically at those moments in time or if it happened throughout the day and it was just because of passing by.
Okay.
And as well as try to figure out if there is any religious imagery on the outside of the ruins.
Make a survival check. See if you can find the actual place.
That would be a 21.
Yeah, easy enough. You have some vague direction about it being west and
West, a few miles.
yeah, a few miles and
People pass it.
it's like a open spot in the forest. Kind of stands out if you're just kind of peering at the horizon and looking up. You manage to see it easy enough. So, okay, how close or how do you want to do your investigation of the?
Basically, as far away as I can be, I'm assuming that there's a pathway leading by it, which is where the reports are coming from.
There's a few paths,
Mhm.
kind of more like forest roads almost. One of them passes the outskirts more,
Mhm.
and there's one leading in towards the ruins.
I stay as far away as possible, trying to hear if there's any shrieking. Spend a few moments. paying
Make a
attention to
perception check.
That is another natural 20 for a 26. That's my third in a row.
You do indeed hear a very faint wailing sound coming from the ruins.
Does it sound like there's someone crying in there, or is it just like a low?
Sounds more like
I think those are kermis. Sounds like a country fair.
no. It's more on the spooky side. Think Left 4 Dead. Think the witch. I think she's called.
Yeah.
Is it the witch?
Yeah,
I think it's called the witch, yeah.
it's called a witch.
Don't startle the witch.
Don't look at it. Don't startle it. Or else fucking run. Okay, so I've confirmed that the wailing is basically throughout the day.
Yeah. It's now like 3-4-ish, and you're in it quite far still, but considering your role, you are hearing it.
Okay, and using the same role, would I be able to identify any religious iconography on the monastery? Or would I have to roll a separate roll for that?
That would be a separate role. You can kind of see it, but to really identify it is a religion.
Karma.
Yeah, karma, natural 1.
So,
With the religion roll, that is a 2.
considering it's the ruins of a building, not a actual building. So even though you can see it, it's so crumbled and just weathered down and broken. There's nothing really to identify it by. So yeah, it's human made from the information you heard before, but that's about all you know.
And I guess I'm gonna walk a distant circle around it as distant as I can be and see if there's any alternative entry roads in and out.
The way this place is set, it's more like there's a forest road just going past, and there's a forest road going slightly towards, and looking beyond, you see it kind of just makes a bend towards the place and keeps going, and it kind of like just branches off. So at this cross point, it just branches off towards the ruin, like just a straight line towards. And the ruins themselves are kind of on a small hill. It's not major, but it's like a small, like a few steps. So there, at the lower step, you see a few, you think graves or at least tombstones, and it kind of just, there's a path to the sideway, kind of like circling around, going up towards the ruins themselves.
Okay, and in terms of entrances, there's only the big one that I can see?
Yeah, it's basically just a frontal path towards.
Okay, that's all the information that Al would need. They decide to go back.
Okay. So yeah, easy enough to find your way back to town. As you enter the inn, I presume.
Yeah.
You find your teammates getting day drunk.
Why not?
Just
Nothing else
sitting,
to do.
waiting for you, waiting for Forbin.